So hi guys, how are you all doing? Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the James and Fuhad issue before I go back to the business of my day. Now, just before that, before I watched that video, I had just been talking to my husband and I was telling my husband that there is a problem with black, and I noticed, right, with our black brothers abroad. Many of them feel so comfortable. Many of them are very comfortable being with white chicks, right? So much so that, if you're having issues with a white chick as a black woman, they will not move, they will not say anything, they will just be there, like statues, and, if possibly, they would laugh. It has happened to me before. I looked at the guy for a long time. I was like, and I didn't know when I said what I said. Anyway, to him anyway. So, I mean, in the James and Fuhad situation, it's a perfect example. We have our black people who, our black brothers who they feel better validated with white girls. Meanwhile, not understanding that white girls actually need to feel validated with them as well. The ongoing black is beautiful, having, that kind of thing. There's a lot of things going on in there. And, in that podcast they had with Matthew Schutlz, where you sit down and someone who got lucky, right? And because I see it as that. You got lucky, became accepted into the black community, you make jokes, you are accepted, you were taken in, no one questioned you, no one judged you. But then you decided that you wanted to judge black women for doing what they do. Because I'll tell you this for sure. There is no black man, right? Or even white. There is no man. I don't want to talk about black or white. There is no man that when he gets a good black woman, right, that remains the same. The change is astronomical, is phenomenal. From how he dresses, how he eats, his mannerisms, everything. This is, and it's not that they are doing it they're not doing it on purpose because they are trying to, make a, they are trying to, create some kind of buzz. No, this is who we are. A black woman will go somewhere that there has been total chaos and confusion and make sense out of it. It has happened to me. I remember one of my uncles at the time, this was far back in the 90s, he married a German. She came to Nigeria, she visited Nigeria. I kid you not. My aunt who's married to, my aunt married to a black, a Nigerian, they were both around at the same time. Now, guess what? This lady goes into the kitchen and says she doesn't know how to cut fish. She goes into the kitchen and she talks about 1,000,001 things that she didn't or couldn't do and was expecting, my aunt or any one of us to do it. My aunt, because if you know my aunt, if you know my family, my aunts don't play with those women. So my auntie gives me a signal and says, "Don't move." And then she goes to her. She walks up straight to her and says, "Listen, this is the fish, right? Here in Nigeria, we do not have people who, if you wanted the fish clean, you should have told them at the market. But since you didn't tell them, then you have to do it yourself." And she walks her through how to cut it. Right? She did not touch the fish. She gives her the knife, gives her the chopping board, and shows her how to gut the fish. My aunt did not touch that fish. I learned a valuable lesson that day. That woman learned how to cook all the soups that her husband likes to eat while in Nigeria. By the time they got back to Germany, her marriage, everything was like, there was like a salve that was on it. It was like a salve had come over her marriage. She learned how to even dress better. I mean, this is facts. No one, and this is a white woman. I'm not even talking about a white woman. She understood that she needed to dress better, because she understood that Nigerian women and men dress well. They keep well. They do things in a certain way. And she learned that while she was in Nigeria. So a black woman effect is not only with being married to a white man. No. That effect is across board, man or woman. And so for someone like Andrew Schutlz to decide he wants to, downplay something that the people who got it are proud of and are happy about it, and then decides to use you as our black brothers as the tool, right, to promote or to be sexist and racist, it's just that, let me be truthful to both of you. I like you guys. I really do enjoy watching you guys or listening. I do it. And so I'm going to give you a pass in the sense that I'll keep watching your shows, but it's a faux pas that should not repeat itself. And it's simply because I genuinely enjoy your content. Genuinely. But that faux pas, unfortunately, has left a bad taste in all people's mouth, because I watched that thing and I was cringing from the moment this guy starts talking, and I understand. I can also understand, your reasoning at the time. Maybe it wasn't clicking, maybe it was the fight or flight response, whatever it was for you guys at the time. But know this, that you are not the only people. A lot of our black brothers have that sentiment. Once they, especially those ones that grew up in the abroad. And that is why a lot of you who eventually become very successful fall prey to a lot of, scandal and set-ups by white women. We've seen footballers in that situation. We've seen basketballers in that situation. We've seen so many of them in that situation. You are just set up. And then it's now your word against theirs. And you know how it always ends up. I feel it's a form of inferiority complex, honestly, to actually be that way. It is a form of inferiority complex. And if you men never knew that, I mean, it's time for you to start working around. Because listen, I have a son, and I know how I always have to talk to him about being comfortable in himself, with himself, and around people that look like him, and not be ashamed or afraid or feel lesser than, or feel he has to impress anyone because he is in a milieu that he is not the majority. Because you don't owe that to anyone. You owe your originality to yourself. One would argue it's the world they live in, but hey, the world we're living in is bigger than we are today. We are more connected than ever. So, James and Fuhad, sorry, let this be a lesson for you people. Next time, if somebody is talking kiniko, let your brain reset fast. And sorry, this video is long, Sha. Bye.